Welcome back, episode 7 of Sweat Sauna Stories. I'm really excited today. The man who's putting me through tons of punishment, the man himself, Daniel Lanigan, aka Ironman Daniel, my coach for Mission Possible. He's here today as a guest. Phenomenal story, phenomenal human being, and he's even brought me a present.
Got me a little present today. It's from myself, Tony Cullen, Tri Central UK. You're part of the team now, mate, so here we go. You're one of us.
Let's have a look at this.
It's one of the club's tri-suits, mate. So
Oh, here we go.
there you go. Welcome to the team, mate.
Look at that. Absolutely buzzing. We're in. Mission Possible is well underway.
Let's go.
Let's get this conversation underway. We're going to start personal. So, since I've been on these bikes,
Yeah.
that area which people refer to as a gooch has been throbbing, mate.
Yeah. Well, yeah. There's some products out there. One that I use is the Asos. It's like arse cream. So it's eucalyptus. So it's the equivalent of someone like blowing on your arse. It's pretty nice when things start getting a little bit tasty.
Charlotte, I think we'll get that ordered today. So, we're on bike, which
Yeah.
you keep putting me through some danger sessions. We'll get into that.
Yeah.
But I think a good one. Just introduce who you are to people.
So I'm Dan Lanigan, a triathlete and triathlon coach at Tri Central UK. One of the biggest triathlon clubs in the country, one of the most successful clubs in the country. We've won Ironman UK overall Tri Club award last 8-9 years. So we know what it takes to build long course triathletes.
Yep.
You know, so I've been coaching now 5 years there. Multiple overall age group podiums, Kona qualifications, 70.3 world champ qualifications. I've done quite a bit, so know what we're doing. Come from a big sporting background.
Yep.
As a junior, played for Manchester City, and then turned into a boxer. And I was boxing all over the world for Great Britain and England, won everything you could win. Just suffered a bad back injury. And you know, things just went out of control from there, and had a few years off and doing what lads do, let's say.
Yes.
And then got into triathlon and running later on in life, but you know, I'm sure we'll talk about
Delve on that, yeah. I think there's a couple of bits to pick up on there in this early intro section. I think for anyone who doesn't understand Ironman, me and Johnny picked up on first session. Most people won't know what Kona is, but
No.
Kona is the, or was, the North Star. It was the echelon, it was the holy grail where people wanted
Absolutely.
to get to. Tell people what Kona is,
So Kona's,
where it is, and how you get there, because it's not for anyone, is it?
Absolutely not. No, and you can't just go to Kona and race Kona. You have to qualify. Normally with an age group podium, overall podium. I qualified in 2021, and then again in last year, Austria. So Kona's the big island of Hawaii, where triathlon was formed.
Yes.
You know, when the swimmer, biker, runner, a little bit of an argument on the beach. And then the rest is history. Triathlon was formed there. So they have the World Championships there every year. They're used to it's now switched between Nice and Kona.
Yes.
And I was there on the last day, the last event of both female and male. I did a 9:30 there.
Unbelievable.
And yeah, I'll go back one day, but it's very expensive.
Do you explain to people, because someone listening who don't know, explain what a 9:30 is, because a 9:30 is insane, and I know you want to go sub 9 this year. But tell people what that looks like. So 2.4 mile swim, 112 mile bike,
Yes.
and a marathon.
And a marathon.
Right, so tell them what sort of splits and times that is in them three events, because that's 9:30 to me is insane.
Yeah, I'm known as that. I'm not a great swimmer. So
Yeah.
I had a fairly bad swim in Kona. Rode a 440 bike, which was quick on the day. It can be, Kona's hit and miss, it's windy. You know, you can have good days and bad days. Mine was okay, I got lucky. Rode a 440 bike, rode a 327, and then run a 327 marathon. The marathon in Kona is everything and more what you hear about it. It's brutal. The heat, the humidity, 35 degree heat, 8% humidity. Running through the energy lab. It's the closest I've ever been in any sport to quitting.
Really?
Not because of mentally, because in and out of dizziness and like nausea and like, I had to stopping.
Yes.
Because if I would have stopped, I was going to go. So it was brutal. It really is brutal. Yeah, I want to go back.
There's 5 disciplines. People say there's 4 disciplines to triathlon. There's the swim,
Yeah.
there's the bike, there's the run,
Yeah.
there's your nutrition,
Yeah.
and there's a mind game, isn't there?
It's a mind game.
I need people to understand what a 9:30 is. So a 9:30 there is, because it's a swim, which swim we're at
110.
So a 110 swim, so he swam 2.4 mile in 1 hour 10.
Yep.
He's transitioned and then cycled 112 miles. So if you're from me and you're from Halifax, that's like from here to Leicester, from here to London.
Here to Birmingham.
No, here to Birmingham.
Yeah.
I'm all over the place today. It's from here to
Birmingham.
Birmingham. So cycle to Birmingham in 4 hours 25. It takes 2.5 hours to drive it.
440. So average of 23 mile an hour.
23 mile an hour.
Yeah.
And then jumped off the bike with heavy legs after swimming, cycling in 35 degrees, and then you've ran a sub 3:30 marathon,
Yeah.
which people just on its own
Yeah,
is an
it was
achievement.
good, yeah.
Never mind,
Yeah.
that's phenomenal.
Yeah, it was good.
So I'm next to a monster.
Well,
This is like before this. People don't understand is you're not a professional, are you?
not a professional guy. Got a full-time job. Got wife, kids, and I fit it in around it. But what we'll dive into later is
Why? Yeah.
why and how, and you'll understand that we have this addiction, don't we?
Yes.
We channel it into something positive. An addictive personality. If I'm in, I'm all in.
Yes.
You know, you won't get me half. No toe dipping as what.
Yes.
I'm in. Simple.
Love that.
So
Someone told me a story about you today, actually. One of the most famous triathletes is Lionel Sanders.
yeah, he is.
And because of your job you had alongside. Is this true?
This is true. Yeah,
So,
I didn't know
I
you
heard
knew
that-
this.
So if anyone don't know, there's a guy called Lionel Sanders, monster in Ironman gear.
Yeah.
While Daniel's out doing numbers, probably not far off these type
Yeah.
of people.
Well, don't know.
You're also a full-time floor layer.
Floor layer,
So you
yeah.
named yourself Vinyl Sanders.
Vinyl Sanders. Yeah, I did. So
I love that.
yeah.
You didn't know I knew that, did
No,
you?
I didn't know you knew that.
That's
You bring
brilliant.
that. So, yeah. So I'm like self-titled Vinyl Sanders, the best floor layer in triathlon. Yeah.
I love that.
So yeah, but I'm trying to retire Vinyl Sanders, you know, and just full-time coaching. Like I just said to you, I'm all in.
Yes.
Coaching now is a massive priority. You know, I'm in a position now where I can back off the floor laying and focus more on my athletes, put some more time into them.
Yes.
Long term, that's what I want to do. You know, like I say, I'm all in for them. And you've seen after a couple of weeks. haven't you?
I've seen it. I felt it.
Yeah, I'm really, really passionate about it.
And I can probably imagine how you coach different people. And it's probably, we chatted, didn't we?
Yeah.
You know, you'll have different type of athletes who require different stuff. We've hit it straight off, from my perspective anyway.
Absolutely.
You know, and what's that been like for you, I guess?
It's exactly the same. We just said we're having a coffee. I feel like I've had 20, 30 coffees with you. And it's my second one.
Yeah.
We're similar. You know, come from a big sporting background. I get you already. And I had a good feeling, like you said, you're going gut.
Yeah.
I had a good feeling. And when I heard about Mission Possible, one way or another, whether it be come on a 5K run, Tempo Tuesday,
Yes.
I'm just thankful and grateful that you accepted me offer and let me coach you, because I wanted to be a part of it some way.
Love it.
It's mega, really, really something that I want to be involved in.
And you're well involved now.
Yeah, yeah.
What I want to know is, and we're going up to sauna now,
Yeah,
and I want to delve into
Yeah.
why you wanted to be involved.
let's go.
Will you do us the honours? Get us his water on. Love that sound. And then, let's lock us in. How'd you find that?
Loved it, mate. I'm all in for the saunas. It's them things I don't like.
Yeah, well, I can't wait to take you in there at end.
Mate, I don't like the cold.
And-
Anyone that knows me knows just how much I don't like
Really?
it. Yeah. But we'll give it a go.
Well, do you know what? You also told me, before you came, you went, putting a camera in front of my face, it's not really my thing, but I think you've nailed it this morning. We are going to get a bit deeper now, aren't we?
Yeah.
I want to know why, a few whys actually, but why did you want to get involved with Mission Possible?
So, we'll talk about Mission Possible first. And I was just scrolling through socials, and I followed you for a while, followed Andy's Man Club for a while, and I looked and it's like they're doing all 5 Ironmans in 1 year. I'm an experienced triathlete and coach. It's like, this is crazy. Like, dug a bit deeper into it. I had a look at why you was doing it, and instantly I thought, one way or another, I have to have some kind of part in this, because Andy's Man Club and men's mental health is something very close to me. You know, it was only last April, 4 days after my mum passed, that one of my really close friends, you know, tragically took his own life, and
sorry, man.
it was bad. No, I'm fucking filling up here now.
It's all right, man.
Yeah. So.
Take your time. It's
Yeah,
cool.
it's true.
It's tough.
Seriously, yeah. So, yeah, it was a tough 4 days. You know, 4 days after my mum passed, and so when I seen it, I had to reach out to you, whether it be a bike ride, a run, and I'm just grateful that you took me up on the offer that you know you allow me to coach you through this, because this is something close to me, and it's my way of giving back to a charity and organisation that been good to me, been good to people that I know, and continue to do great things up and down the country, you know. And you don't choose mental health, and I found that out. It chooses you. And I'm a fighting man. I come from a boxing background, massive. I consider myself, you know, a relatively tough guy. I can get through anything. And when it gets a grip of you, that, you know, it brings you to your knees, and that's exactly what it did to me.
So, firstly, awful about your mum. And your friend. I'm really sorry, but I could see how much that meant to you. We made a little cut there because of the mics. He said, I knew it'd get me. And as men, we get a little bit embarrassed if something gets us, especially.
Of course.
Right, but it's cool, isn't it? It's cool to.
Absolutely, yeah. You've got to let it out.
Feel something, don't you?
Yeah, you've got to let it out, and you know, I was one of the lucky ones that I got out of a bad situation, like just through stripping it all back down. I had to just think deep, what makes me happy? What do I get a buzz off from, other than going out and drinking alcohol and staying out and doing whatever else comes with that? What else? Sport. That gives me a buzz.
You know, when I met you at Starbucks, you know, something drew me. I do everything on a gut feeling. Like, staff I've took on, everything I just know. And it might even not make sense to people sometimes that, you know, why that happened, how it did. When you'd messaged, something just stars felt aligned, and then when we met, you told me about your friend. And instantly I'm like, we've got to do this. You know,
absolutely.
I'd already in my head had gone, we've got to do this. Then we know that added why behind you, because Mission Possible isn't just two lads doing 5 Ironmen. I made it clear. We're doing Mission Possible for your friend. We're doing Mission Possible for Deborah, who's lost her son. We're doing it for the 6,000 men who got on his Man Club, so that they all find their possible, and in memory of all those that we've tragically lost.
Absolutely.
And you also said something to me, which I loved. You went, I love Andy's Man Club because it's about men talking. You might not remember saying this to me. It's about men talking about problems. You went, I wasn't lucky to have that then, back when I was struggling. But I ran into my problems. Tell me a bit about that, because I thought it's so interesting. That.
So I'll go right back.
So as far as you want.
From when I was young, from like 8-year-old, you know, I was always very sportive, very competitive. I ended up playing football at a high standard. I ended up playing for Manchester City. But at the time, my uncle started a boxing club, so I started boxing and football. I've become a very good boxer. I boxed all over the world, won multiple national titles, boxed for Great Britain and England. I cleaned up. And then Man City made me choose, because I was missing games. I was in South Africa, I was in Denmark, you know, I was missing games from Man City. So they said, what are you doing? So I chose boxing. So I left City. But at this time, I was getting left out of the squad.
You're a big City fan as well, aren't you?
I'm a Manchester City fan, big Man City fan, So it was tough, so that was a big decision that I had to make around 16-year-old. You know, it's quite a big decision, that.
Big.
So I carried on boxing, you know. I boxed all over the world. And then I got into some trouble and stuff. I was getting in trouble because I was quite popular in my area, and I was going out. I never used to drink. I was getting in trouble and doing a bit of fighting outside nightclubs and stuff, and got into a bit of trouble. And then I turned professional, and I had a bad back injury that affected my nervous system. And basically, my promoter at the time took me private. When he got the reports back, he just said, no, and just let me go, you know. And it was like the world come crashing down, because there was no plan B. Because I was that kid in school that when the teachers was wrong. They were saying have a plan B and a plan C, because if boxing doesn't work out, you need your education. Now, I knew right, I knew best. Now I know I didn't, you know, and they were right and I was wrong. So when it came crashing down,
shit, what am I going to do? You know, and back then, mental health, you know, 20 years ago, it weren't talked about. It was, you know, and like I said, I didn't know it about it then, but it probably got a grip on me, because then I just went on the piss, drinking, fighting, you know, doing all that kind of stuff. And I come from one of the biggest council estates in Europe, Hasselsle, Manchester, and survival of the fittest there. It's dog eat dog. And you know, some of my mates, some of them are still in jail now, and murder, armed robberies, gangland, organised crime. These are my close mates. I was very, very close to being brought into all this circle.
Yes.
You know, and again, I was the lucky one that I met me now wife, and she's from Yorkshire, and I moved over here. So when I moved over here, everything was fine, saved. That was it, it was sound. But I started to slip back into my old ways, going out, watching the football, you know, staying out, coming home drunk, and my wife seeing me pissed up, and she's like, and it was 2017, I think. At this time, I do no sport, by the way.
Yeah.
I'm 13 stone, professional curry eater, you know, just go out Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, watch the football, just get pissed.
Yep.
And 2017, in between Christmas and New Year, and my wife just turned to me and said, my daughter was only 4 or 5 then, my youngest daughter, and she just looked at me and said, we get this new Christmas and New Year out of the way, and I'm leaving you. I got married in September. I'm like, fuck. Like, you just know when you've run out of lives, don't you? When your wife will give you that certain look, I knew.
This is it.
That's it. And like, I keep going back, I'm a lucky one, because I do feel lucky that I got out of it. New Year's Day, I did the only thing that I know, I went running, and then I ran again, and again, and again. I ran the Manchester Marathon, I ran the Belfast Marathon, but again, the addicted personality came back again.
Yep. What's
next? I'm done, what's next? And then I was on holiday in Spain, and I looked into Ironman. Like, this is pretty crazy, this is mad. But I knew, I was well aware, and I weren't ignorant enough to think that I know how to get myself through an Ironman. I knew periodising 3 sports, swim, bike and run, I'm going to need some help here.
Yep.
Because I'm not going on a start line of an Ironman and being average Joe. I want to be competitive,
yes.
You know, because that is me, all in. You know, you drink 10 pints, I'm drinking 11. That kind of person,
yeah.
You know. I'll make a competition out of anything. So yeah, went running, and then one coach just kept coming up, Tony Cullen, Tri Central UK. Joined Tri Central UK, met Tony, and he instantly knew, he's like us, he instantly knew, he said, you ain't completed Ironman, ain't going to be enough for you. You know, you're going to want top 10s, age group podiums, overall podiums. He knew, you know, we've got this. We was talking about it before, weren't we? I think if you asked 90% of Ironman athletes, they've got a story.
Yes.
They know, not just doing it because it's an Ironman. They come from some kind of darkness, I think you said, don't you? Dark background, addictive personality, whether it's alcohol, drugs,
they've got
gambling.
a why, haven't they?
They've got a why,
yeah.
Exactly that. And my why was, you know, if I don't keep moving, keep doing this, then I'm going to end up back there doing that shit. And who knows where I'm going to be in jail, locked up, left my wife, house, kids, family. So I got into Ironman, and yeah, I was all right. I was decent, and that's how I got here. But every day is not sunshine and rainbows.
Yep.
You know, I have my struggles all the time. You know, when my boxing career ended, you know, what am I going to do? And it just got a grip, and it was on. I still struggle daily. I don't get up and think today I want to train every single day, but I do it because I know I have to do it, because if I don't, then I'll go back to how I was.
Yes.
And you'll have seen on my social media, at the bottom of every post I put, sharks don't swim backwards. Because that's my little thing, because not because I'm a shark in triathlon or anything, it's nothing triathlon, it's because if a shark stops or goes backwards, it will die. If I stop moving and go back to my old life, I'll be the same as the shark.
Love that.
So have the shark mindset, just keep moving forward. Doesn't matter how fast, doesn't matter how far you get, you just got to keep moving forward. One day at a time, you'll get to where you want. If I can do it, so can anyone else.
Yes. Powerful.
Talk.
So take me on the running journey, because I find the whole thing, you know, ultra inspiring.
Yeah.
What were it on that first run that made you went, I need to do this again tomorrow? What was it about it? Because I think what we try to do through Mission Possible is encourage people to get on them running shoes, get on them walking boots, get yourself down to Andy's Man Club, get yourself to therapy or into a gym. Because once you take that step through a gym door, an Andy's Man Club door, whatever it may be, take your step out of the door and go for a run. There's something that happens, but what happened for you?
I'd already spent a lot of time in my own head, and running makes me, when I have an argument with my boss at work, go for a run, I feel better when I've done it. And I've always been the same, and I'm sure everyone else feels the same, So I knew, go for a run, you're going to feel better. But you've now got to do this into your one sober, and your wife trusts you again to not stay out all night and not be on the piss all weekend. You've got to start at rock bottom and leave your ego at the door. Don't compare yourself to anyone. It's not about how fast you're doing it, you're doing it for yourself here.
Yes.
And that's what I did. And every time I went for a run, I answered one of my problems. And I'd found it, what it was, stripped it back.
Yes.
But I was the lucky one, and I'll keep saying, I'll probably say it another 10 times today. We've got to, don't be scared of going into these groups. Don't be scared of walking into a gym. No one's going to judge you. Everyone will be like, well done for coming here. When you're in a gym, you're moving faster than the man sat on the couch.
Yes.
It doesn't matter how fast you're moving, just keep moving.
And I guess you go through your journey.
Yeah.
But then what makes you want to give back to others? So you've done your Ironman, and I know Tony had addressed, this is a guy that's serious.
Yeah.
He's going to want to do this. So you've done that. You've done 3 full Ironmans and qualified in everyone for Kona. You've done Kona. You've then done the 70.3s. And what were it? We're like, you know what? I now want to give back, because I'm guessing it isn't just for you about making better athletes. It's about knowing that everyone's got a why. Whether it's to be a better parent, whether it's to come over alcoholism, whether it's to escape some trauma or past childhood trauma. There's something in everyone where it's proving someone wrong. What was it that said to you, I want to now coach other people a bit, have the feelings I've had?
It's because I said it to you when I met you, I often feel like guilty for what I was doing to the people around me. My mum and dad loved me, they loved the sport, and I gave them so much back with the achievements they had. And then I was pissing it all up, and I feel bad and I feel guilty. Not only that, the other people along the way who have upset and, made, maybe had bad opinions of me at the time. So reaching out to you and giving something back helped me. Because I'll say it again, not every day sunshine, I still struggle. I'm human. You might see a smile, happy face, and there's Danny's just giggling and laughing, because that's what kind of character I am. But I have moments where I don't want to get out of bed, and last year was one of the toughest years of my life. I lost my mum, I lost my friend. I went to 7 funerals last year. My wife's family and mine, and one of my school friends died, and he drunk himself to death. And not every day I want to do it. So I want to give back. I want to try and help people and make them realise that, look, I'm considered a decent athlete, but I struggle. You are going to struggle. This is part of the process. But tell me when you're struggling. Just a 5-minute chat, you'll see things from a different light and a different perspective. And so when this came about, it was a no-brainer. It's just an opportunity for me to right some wrongs, let's say.
Yes. We have a little section on the podcast now before we go in your dreaded ice bath, and we're calling it On the Spot, because it's just 3 questions each. You go, I ask you 3 random questions. You ask me 3 questions that you've got. They can be quick fire, they can be a little bit longer, and then we have a little game of rock, paper, scissors, and then we see who wins. Because these are all the same temperature.
I know.
And I'm hoping that you're going to get in that too. So it's 3 questions. It's on the spot because we've both got to think. Even
Who's
me.
asking the questions?
I ask you a question, and you fire back with a question for me.
All right, okay.
Do you want to go first today?
No, you go first.
I'll go first. So what's something that you're grateful for in your life right now?
I'm grateful for my wife and my kids and the people I have around me. Without them, I'm nothing. I'm well aware of that. Well aware of it, that I can't do this on my own. I need them. My wife saved my life. I love her to bits. I love my wife. And without her, I'm nothing.
It's powerful, that.
Yeah.
You'll go.
I'm going to give you the same question.
Yeah, I'm grateful for this process at the minute. I am grateful for momentum. I fill my journal in every day, and a word that keeps coming up is momentum. And I feel to get a boulder going, if I think of it like that, it takes a lot of energy. It might even take having to get other people, but once it's moving, it's really easy.
Yeah.
And I feel like I'm in momentum with training with yourself. You've really helped me out there, and I've got a great group of mates.
Yeah.
And then my wife, my partner, who's amazing there. I'm in momentum with my family. They're progressing, and their fitness is great. My little lad Alfie's just been out today, done the 10k with us, and he blitzed me. Got his fastest 5k, did 18:30 back down, which is unheard of for him. I've got momentum with AMC. You know, we're opening 50 groups in first quarter of this year, which is phenomenal. And work, I've got a great team there from these two who are behind the camera now to my lads out on the road. So I feel very grateful for everything now, even the trials and tribulations. So that'd be mine. Something I was thinking about when you said, and something I want to ask you is, do you feel you're a better dad now as a result of the positive choices you've made, and why?
Absolutely, it's a no-brainer. Back then, my youngest daughter, who don't want to live with, I've got to a previous partner in Manchester, a little bit older, but even they've seen what they've seen. But my youngest daughter's more. I kind of hope she didn't understand as much, but she's 13 now, and I give a lot back. I put a lot of time into her. I take her to school. I take her to the track, Halifax, where you know, I love the little girl to bits, like, but I'm a better dad. I'm allowed to be a better dad because my head's thinking straight. Correct. You know, I spend a lot of time training, don't get me wrong, and there's a bit of me that has to be selfish because I have goals what scare me, and they understand that, they get that, and they go, okay, dad's he's gonna be out all day, he's gonna be out all weekend, but I make sure I find a bit of time to give back to my wife and kids to go, right, triathlon gets left there, let's go out, let's eat some nice food, a few cocktails or whatever, and just chill. It's nice. And my little girl, she's got an happy dad. And that's the main thing.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Who's your biggest inspiration?
Oh, good one. I've got many. My mum and dad separated when I was younger, and I look at both them two as inspirations in different ways. I really look up to my mum and my dad. My mum is very selfless. She had a car accident when I was younger. She's drop attack. But in terms of compassion, she's one of the most, if not the most selfless and compassionate person I've met, and I really love that about her. She's always there to listen. My dad is very hard-working, brought us up, you know, and he's just a great guy, and he's like, you know, one of my best pals now. We've got a cycle T-Day in 2 months together. He's like a mate now, you know, where we give each other banter and shit. And they're two inspirations in different ways who've both been through their own shit and come through the other side. And I look up to them both as parents, and on the stuff that they've done really well, and the stuff that they could have worked on that I now take lessons from, and the stuff that I'm getting wrong. And I just look at them both as huge inspirations.
They've brought up a successful young man, haven't they?
I appreciate it,
Absolutely. So
with his flaws. With his flaws.
Mate, we're human, aren't we?
Yes.
And, you know, what you've done with AMC and your own company, like from the ground up, so how big it is now, it's like, I'm sure they're very proud. Absolutely, man. So it's giving back, isn't it?
100%.
That's what you do, you give back, you know. None of us are perfect, and
I always like to emphasise that as well.
We're not perfect. Kids will be kids, won't they? You know, we'll get into it, but that's what they sign up for, having us, don't they? You know,
that's what we sign up for.
That's what we for, exactly.
So I've got one final question for you.
Okay.
What's your Ironman goal now?
My Ironman goal is really, really simple and a bit tunnel visioned on it at the minute. And going back to the selfishness, I've explained to my wife and stuff that very soon I'm going to have to go into the selfish thinking and everything. You know, I've got a goal and I want to go sub 9 in Hamburg around 8:30. I'll give you pretty much, I want to swim under an hour, I want to bike a 4:20, and I want to run a 3-hour marathon. So
big.
That's it. But again, you know, I will give 110% to achieve that goal. There's not many goals I miss, and I don't intend to start now. And I don't want to sound arrogant here. I just want to be like,
I think the world needs a little bit more of, like, you know,
it's on.
I've set a goal. I'm laser focused. My team's on board. Let's have it.
Team, I've got the best long distance triathlon coach in this country behind me. You know, that's all I need. Tony.
I had the best long distance coach.
He's making me into the best. He's. I respect that man as well. You know, what he's done for me in the 5-6 years I've known him, it's unbelievable. Like, he's become the older brother that I always wanted.
Love that.
He's the man. I respect him so much. So yeah, I'm going to go back into
Laser focus.
tunnel vision, blinkers on,
Let's
and
have
we'll go with like 16, 18, 20 weeks, monk mode. It's all on. It's on.
It's done.
So yeah.
Final question, Jaws.
What's your guilty pleasure?
Oh, what? Do I have a guilty pleasure? I'm quite vanilla, me.
Like girls allowed or something? No.
Oh, stuff like that. Do you know what? I wonder if guilty pleasure would be. I really like a guy called Meatloaf.
Yeah.
I would do anything for love. I don't know if that's technically a guilty pleasure.
It's decent.
I like Meatloaf, but no one would probably know
What
that.
about the karaoke?
You what?
Do you do it on the karaoke?
If I was singing, I used to sing Objects in the Rearview Mirror. That's a powerful...
So, when Mission Possible's done and we've completed it, karaoke's on.
Meatloaf, karaoke.
It's on.
And there's a lyric actually, which I'll leave people before we get in there. There's a song when I were in our time at school that I used to blast out when I go from school on my own. And it's mad actually, even sharing this. It's called Objects in the Rearview Mirror. A lot of the lyrics now when I listen back don't really relate, but so it's objects in the rearview mirror appear closer than they are, which basically means that the past that we think's haunting us, it's not as close as we think it is.
Absolutely.
And we need to just stop that, because I always think there's a reason why your wind mirror,
Yeah.
wind mirror,
Rear
your
view
front screen
Yeah.
is bigger than your rear view mirror, because where you're going is far more important than where
Love
you've
it.
been.
Love it. Yeah.
So, ready to go in this ice bath?
Yeah.
Let's go. Rock, paper, scissors. Best of one today, and we're going to get in these, and we're going to pick who goes in what. You ready? One, two, so it's rock, paper, scissors, shoot, so we don't get it wrong. You ready? Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Oh, I'm going to nominate you to go into two, because I know that you love it so much. Let's go. Let's go. Charlotte, fire away.
Okay. Swim, bike or run, which is your favourite discipline?
I'm going to go run as well. Like yourself, I like that mentality of having that headspace.
What's your favourite race distance? Sprint, Olympic, half Ironman or Ironman?
Full all day. Ironman.
I don't know if I like any of them, but I'm going to have to say Ironman now. Oh no, 70.3 is a bit of fun.
What's your go-to pre-race breakfast?
Pre-race, it's just plain and simple porridge. Yeah, black coffee, banana. Keep it simple.
Every day's a race for me. I have the same food every day. 4 eggs, poached, scrambled or fried on sourdough toast. That's me all day long.
Have you ever hit the wall during a race, and how did you push through it?
Yeah, absolutely. It was more 70.3, yeah, just under-fueled. I learnt my lesson massively from it, like, never want to feel like that again. Really dialed in on nutrition. Nutrition is the 4th discipline, you know. I'm really sorry I can't talk properly.
I love this. This is how cold they really are. Sometimes on these, they don't look cold, but they are cold. Mine has got to be, remember the question, Charlotte?
Have you ever hit the wall?
Yes, I have. The main one that stands out on any event I've ever done is Ironman Bolton. And the reason why I knew definitely hit a wall is you come off the bike. Normally I'm talking shit to people, laughing and joking and being a big energy. And I were an absolute wreck. I saw my kids who were buzzing to see me, and I had to pretend I were happy to see them. And I were in bits. And on that note, we're done. Let's go. Bike done, sauna done, great conversations, and a nice ice bath to finish, which I don't think you liked as much. I always finish with one departing thing is how's that been for you today?
Loved it. Yeah, I honestly feel like a weight's been lifted off my shoulders, because people always know I come from a bit of a background and a bit of a, let's say, mental health background, but never really know my story, so I've enjoyed it today. Always nice to spend time with you, so it's good. Enjoyed it.
Mate, absolute pleasure.
Well done, man.
What a phenomenal guy, a phenomenal episode. I really enjoyed that one. You can see the man I've got in my corner for this Mission Possible challenge. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Remember, just like the kids say, like and subscribe to this channel. I'm hoping that you found some inspiration from not only this episode, from the other ones. My daughter watched the day in the life of, if you haven't seen it yet, she's told me I've got to shave my chest. As my coach starts to get rid of some of the fat, I will also make sure I get rid of some of the hair. Remember, like and subscribe. See you next week.